Hey everybody, thanks for watching True Crime Time. Wow, breaking news today. An arrest has been made in the Moscow, Idaho murders. Bryan Christopher Kohberger was arrested early this morning. I believe he was in Scranton, Pennsylvania, near the Pocono Mountains when he was arrested. This video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we know so far. There's going to be a lot more information coming out about this guy as the police release more and as they find more evidence while they're searching his apartment as we speak right now. Quick run through here of what they've released, what we know so far. Really interested to know what other people think. Please comment below. Do you think this is the only crime he's committed, or could he be a suspect in some other unsolved murders? It's interesting that this murder occurred in Idaho. There's reports of him living in Washington State, and then he's arrested all the way on the East Coast in Pennsylvania. He sure does get around. We're really going to have to start looking across the country to see if he could be involved in some of these other crimes that we don't know who the culprit is yet. So, a quick view here of the court records from Monroe County, Pennsylvania. It's my understanding that he's been arrested for first-degree murder. Bryan Christopher Kohberger. Early this morning, 3 a.m., they have him in custody. They've also located the white Hyundai Elantra in Pennsylvania. I'm assuming he probably drove that vehicle all the way out there, and that's how he got there. Again, here you can see they're saying it was taken away from his home in Monroe County. So I don't know, does he live in Pennsylvania, attend school in Washington? Does he just live in Washington while he's at school? But this guy is all over the place, probably why it was a little bit tricky to pin down where he was and get him arrested. I thought this was pretty interesting. Kohberger had a quiet, blank stare when he was taken into custody. I'll tell you, if I was arrested for something I didn't do, I'd probably be pretty upset. I'd be asking a lot of questions, and I would definitely be pursuing a lawyer. Sounds to me like he was pretty quiet, and that tells me that he may have been expecting this arrest to have happened at some point. So, looking at his background a little bit, some of the reports so far are that he studied psychology at a Pennsylvania community college. He actually worked on a research project around emotions and psychological traits of criminals while he was in grad school. So this little photo here is a post where he's reaching out, looking for people to participate in this research project. This is around a study trying to understand what motivates criminals, how they're feeling during a crime, what specific details were going on in their life when these crimes happened. So this person is very close to this type of act that was committed and probably has a very deep understanding of a criminal who could go in and murder four people like what happened. And from the beginning here, I think a lot of us have thought that this takes a special type of person emotionally and mentally to commit a crime like this. And looking at his background, it lines up pretty well. So here's the actual post from DeSales University for this research study. They're interested in understanding how emotions and psychological traits influence the decision making involved in committing a crime. Very interesting. I just imagine when this crime happened in Idaho, what was going through his head, how did he get in, how did he get out, all of those things that we're questioning about the crime is kind of like what this survey is looking for information about. Just really interesting that he was involved in this and then committed the type of crime that was committed. So here's just a little bit of a closer view of what he was asking for this survey. It says, in particular, this study seeks to understand the story behind your most recent criminal offense with an emphasis on your thoughts and feelings throughout your experience. He asked, did you prepare for the crime before leaving your home? Why did you choose that victim or target over others? What was the first move you made to accomplish your goal? After committing the crime, what were you thinking and feeling? Was another. You could almost apply these questions and ask him the same thing about this crime that happened in Idaho. So, some other questions in the survey dig into whether a person committed their first crime when they were alone, were they employed, were they under the influence of drugs and alcohol, It asked a little bit about what criminal's life was like right before the crime occurred. Again, how did they prepare? He wants to know how they're thinking. How did they travel and enter the location that the crime occurred? And after arriving, what steps did you take prior to locating the victim or target? Please detail your thoughts and feelings. Again, very telling. I think we could ask him these exact same questions about this crime. So Kohberger is listed on meritpages.com as being a graduate of Northampton Community College, class of 2018. So this is backing up a bit, 4 or 5 years when he's a bit younger. And it says that he also was involved here in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. That website says that he made the Dean's List at Northampton, where he was studying liberal arts and psychology. This is kind of an older picture of him, Bryan Kohberger, from Effort, Pennsylvania. So he does have ties to Pennsylvania. I wonder if he has family there. Wonder where he's living. It's got a quote down here from Aristotle. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Let me know what you think about that quote. Another thing that's really interesting here is the image of him. I did come across some other information that was saying that at one point when he was younger in his high school years, he was not in very good shape. He was overweight, and an old friend said that he went through sudden change with his physical appearance, lost a lot of weight, became interested in combat sports like boxing. And this friend also said that this person, that Bryan here, his personality changed along with his physical changes, and he became much more aggressive. And it actually caused this friend to distance themselves from this person. That picture is very interesting to me, comparing it to the picture in his mugshot. It does look different. But here, if this is a little bit older, 4 or 5 years ago, he does look very thin. He may have gained some weight between now and then, whether it's from physical activities or maybe just he's kind of settled in as he's gotten older with his weight. But kind of an interesting view of how he looks when he was a little bit younger. And then this is a picture of his apartment. There he is in the mugshot. This is what's going on right now as we speak. They're here searching his apartment. This is in Washington, so he's not there. Obviously, he was arrested on the other side of the country, but they're also over here in Washington. This is about 15 minutes away from where the murders occurred. So more information coming out. We'll keep you posted as we learn more. And hopefully it won't take long before the law enforcement starts releasing some of the details about how they caught this guy.